Lisa stepped off the transport ship and into Nexus Station. The place was nothing like Earth. Bright lights hung from the ceiling everywhere. Aliens of every shape and color moved through the corridors like water flowing in a river. Some had many arms, some had no arms at all. Some looked almost human, but with skin colors that did not exist on Earth. She was human. She was also the only one who did not make noise when she walked. That was not normal. That was not right. Even the quietest animals on Earth made some kind of sound. But Lisa had been trained since she was very young. She had learned how to move so that her feet barely touched the ground. She had learned how to breathe so slowly that nobody could hear it. She had learned how to be a ghost in a room full of people. Her grandmother had taught her these things. On Earth, we are not the strongest, her grandmother had told her when Lisa was just 8 years old. We are not the fastest. We do not have claws or teeth that can kill with one bite, so we must be something else. We must be hunters, real hunters, the kind of hunters that know how to wait, the kind of hunters that know how to see without being seen. Lisa had not understood then, but she understood now. She was 22 years old and she had spent her whole life learning from the best hunters on Earth. Her grandmother had trained military soldiers. Her grandfather had been a spy. Her mother was a detective, and her father had been in special forces before he died protecting people he did not even know. Hunting was in her blood. It was just that the galaxy did not understand what that meant. She pulled her bag behind her and walked toward the student dormitory. The hallway was crowded. There were aliens with red skin and 3 eyes. There were Pelions who looked soft and gentle with their round bodies and many small arms. There were who were tall and strong with 4 arms each. There were species she could not even name. Nobody looked at her twice. Lisa found her room on the 7th floor. It was small. It had a bed, a desk, a bathroom that she did not understand how to use yet, and a window that showed nothing but the metal walls of the station. She sat on the bed and did not move for 2 hours. She was listening, learning, feeling the rhythm of the place. She could hear the hum of the machines that kept the station alive. She could hear the footsteps of students in the hallways. She could hear the conversations through the thin walls. She could hear the breathing patterns of people in the corridors outside. Some people breathed fast because they were nervous about the first day of school. Some people breathed slow because they were calm. One person was breathing very fast with long pauses. That person was afraid of something. Lisa filed all of this away in her mind. On the first day of classes, she walked to the xenobiology lecture. The classroom was huge. There were maybe 200 students. Most of them were talking and laughing. They were excited to be here. They did not know that some of them would not leave Nexus Station alive. Wars happened in the shadows. The Galactic Council did not talk about them, but Lisa's grandmother did. There is a reason Earth was not invited to join the Council for so long, her grandmother had said. It is because the older species feared us. They still fear us. That is why you have to go there. You have to learn everything they know. And you have to be so quiet that they do not even know you are a threat until it is too late. Professor was teaching the class. He was with 4 arms and eyes that were bright yellow. He had been teaching at Nexus Station for 30 years. He did not like humans much. Lisa could tell by the way his voice changed when he mentioned Earth. Humans are a recent addition to the galactic community, Professor said. His words were not kind. They are from a harsh world. They are violent by nature, but they have only recently left their home system. They are not ready for the stars. They are children with fire. Lisa wrote this down in her notebook. She wrote it down exactly as he said it. Around her, other students used holographic pads that floated above their desks, but Lisa used paper and a pen. She wanted to be different. She wanted to be the girl who nobody remembered anything about. However, Professor continued, they are also clever. That is why we are testing them. That is why we let them send students to Nexus Station. We are watching to see if they will become a problem or a help to the Galactic Council. Lisa understood. She was not just a student. She was an experiment. The entire human race was being watched like a mouse in a laboratory. During lunch, she sat alone in the common area. She ate food from Earth that she had brought with her. It looked strange compared to the protein synthesis that the other students ate. A student named looked at her from 2 tables over. He was trying to figure out what she was. That was fine. Let him wonder. You are the human girl, a soft voice said. Lisa looked up. There was a Pelion standing near her table. The Pelion had blue skin and many small arms. I am from the Pelion home world. Would you like to sit with us? Lisa could say no. She could stay alone. That would be safer. But her grandmother had taught her something else, too. Sometimes the best hunters are the ones who let others think they can trust them. Yes, Lisa said. Thank you, I would like that. Brought Lisa to a table with 5 other Pelian students. They asked her about Earth. They asked her about gravity and weather and animals. They asked her why her skin was so pale and if she had problems with their station's lights. Lisa answered all of their questions with short words and simple explanations. She did not tell them about her training. She did not tell them about her family. She did not tell them about the war that was coming. But she listened to everything they said. She learned where they lived. She learned who their families were. She learned which of them were brave and which of them were easy to frighten. She was making a map of every person on this station, a map that would show her how to protect them when the time came. After lunch, she went to her next class. It was a basic physics course. The teacher was a who had skin made of crystal. Lisa sat in the middle of the room, not in the front where everyone would notice her, not in the back where she could not see everything, right in the middle where she could watch the whole class without anyone realizing it. Lisa had been on Nexus Station for 14 days when she first saw the. She was at the trading post buying basic supplies for her room. The trading post was a huge market where people bought and sold things from all over the galaxy. There were food items that looked like rocks and tasted like nothing. There were tools that did things she did not understand. There were clothes and weapons and strange objects that had no clear purpose. That was where she saw them. 3 of them stood near the back of the market in an area that was darker than the rest. They were tall. They were very tall, maybe 8 feet high. Their skin looked like black glass. It was shiny and smooth, but also hard. Their teeth were not hidden. They never went back into their mouths. They were always showing, always there, always ready to bite. They were. Lisa had read about them in the xenobiology database. They were not members of the Galactic Council. They did not have an official place in the galaxy. They took jobs that other species did not want to take. They did violent things. They hurt people. They disappeared people. Nobody questioned them because questioning them usually meant the questioner also disappeared. The 3 were talking to a group of young Pelian students. Lisa recognized them, was one of them. The Pelians looked afraid. Their soft bodies were shaking. Their many small arms were moving very fast in the way that Pelians moved when they were nervous. One of them was pushing the Pelians toward a back room. The room had no windows. The room had only one way in and one way out. Once the Pelians were inside that room, nobody would see what happened to them. Lisa put down the supplies she was holding. She did not think about this. Thinking too much got hunters killed. Her grandmother had taught her that. Instead, she just walked. She walked toward the Pelians. Her footsteps made no sound. Her breathing stayed the same. Her heart rate did not change. She was a predator that had spotted prey trying to hurt other prey. "Excuse me," Lisa said in formal galactic standard. Her voice was soft. "I do not think this area is for unofficial trade." They turned to look at her. This was a moment where a human from most places would have died. This was the moment where fear would take over. This was the moment where someone would run or scream or try to fight with weapons they did not have. Lisa just looked at them. The closest was the biggest one. He opened his mouth very wide. His teeth showed everywhere. His jaw made a hissing sound that was meant to frighten. It was an old threat. It was the threat that every predator used to warn others to go away. "Human girl," he said. His voice sounded like rocks grinding together. "This is not your problem. Walk away." Lisa did not walk away. She stepped forward. She stepped between the Pelian students. Now they would have to go through her to get to them. "These students are part of the academic exchange program," Lisa said. Her words were simple and hard. "They are protected by station law. I am a witness. If they disappear, the station commander will know. The council will ask questions. Your business here will become known." The leader looked at her for a very long time. He was trying to decide if she was worth the trouble. He was trying to figure out if one small human girl was worth the attention that would come if she disappeared. Lisa looked back at him. She did not blink. She did not move. She did not show any fear. She showed him something else. She showed him certainty. She showed him that she knew what she was doing. She showed him that if he touched her or the Pelian students, she would hurt him. She would hurt him badly. She would make sure that everyone knew about it. Predators understood this language. It was the only language that predators truly respected. The leader made a sound. It was something between a laugh and a growl. He closed his mouth. His teeth went back into his head. He stood up straight. You are brave, he said to Lisa. Foolish, but brave. We will find easier work elsewhere. Come, there is nothing here. The three walked away. They just left. They did not argue. They did not fight. They just walked away and left the Pelian students standing behind Lisa. His legs gave out. She fell to her knees. The other Pelians started making sounds that were like crying, but they were alive. They were safe. Thank you, said. Her voice was shaking. You saved us. How did you know they would leave? I did not, Lisa said simply. But I knew they were thinking about it. When a predator stops showing its teeth, it means the predator is thinking. When a predator is thinking, it means it is figuring out if something is worth doing. I made sure it was not worth doing. Lisa helped stand up. She helped the other Pelians stop shaking. Then she walked with them out of the trading post. She did not buy her supplies. She would come back when they were gone. That night, the story of what happened spread everywhere on Nexus Station. By the next morning, everyone was talking about it. The quiet human girl, the girl who nobody noticed, the girl who had faced down 3 raiders. But the story changed as it spread. By lunchtime, people were saying she had killed the... By the evening, people were saying she was some kind of super soldier. By the next day, people were saying she was a military operative from Earth sent to spy on the Galactic Council. Lisa heard all of these stories. She did not correct any of them. Let them think whatever they wanted to think. Let them wonder about her. Let them be confused. She had done what she needed to do. She had shown the Pelians that she was someone who would protect them. She had shown that humans were not easy prey. And she had shown herself that everything her grandmother had taught her was still true. The best hunters were the ones that nobody saw coming. That night, Lisa received an encrypted message on her personal terminal. It was from Earth. It was from her grandmother. The message was very short. They are beginning to move. Stay alert. Your real work begins now. 3 days after the trading post incident, Lisa was called to the office of station commander. He was large and had 4 arms. His skin was dark blue like the deep ocean on Earth. His eyes were bright and looked like they could see everything. He had been the station commander for 12 years. Before that, he had been a military officer for the Galactic Council. He had seen wars and death and things that would break most people. Lisa walked into his office and did not look nervous. She did not sit down until he told her to sit. She did not speak until he spoke to her first. Sit, commanded. His voice was deep and filled with authority. Lisa sat in the chair across from his desk. The chair was made for larger bodies than human bodies. Her feet did not touch the floor. She sat up straight anyway. Looked at her for a very long time. His 4 eyes studied her face. His 2 upper arms were folded across his chest. His 2 lower arms rested on the desk. I have reviewed the trading post incident, said. I have reviewed the station security footage. I have read the statements from the Pelian students. I have also read your enrollment file. He opened a holographic display in front of him. It showed Lisa's information. It showed her family history. It showed the details about her grandmother and her grandfather and her mother and her father. Your family has military background, said. It was not a question. Yes, sir, Lisa answered. Your father was military, special forces. He died in a conflict that Earth was not officially part of. Yes, sir. Your grandmother trained military soldiers. Your grandfather was an intelligence officer. Your mother is a detective and has tactical training. This is a military family. Lisa said nothing. Sometimes the best answer was no answer at all. In the trading post, you faced 3. You did not run. You did not call for security. You did not act afraid. You acted like someone who had been trained to face threats. You acted like someone who understood how predators think. Leaned forward. His lower arms pushed the holographic display away. I want to know the truth, Lisa. Are you a spy? Was Earth sent you here to spy on the Council? Was this incident designed to make yourself look important? Lisa thought about her answer carefully. She could lie. She was trained to lie. But she also understood something that not many people understood. Was not asking because he wanted to hurt her. He was asking because he wanted to know if she was a threat, and if she was honest with him, he might become an ally instead of an enemy. No, sir, Lisa said. I am not a spy, I am a student. But I am also the daughter of people who taught me to be careful. My family taught me that humans are not the strongest in the galaxy. We are not the fastest. We do not have weapons that are the most advanced. What we have is the ability to think in ways that other species do not think. What we have is the ability to stay calm when other people panic. And that is why you stood against the... That is why I walked between them and the students. It was simple logic. They wanted to take the students away where nobody would see them. If I made it clear that people would see them, that there would be questions and problems, then the trade became more difficult. Not impossible, just more difficult. Made a sound, it was like a laugh but also like a growl. You appealed to their sense of logic. You did not try to fight them with violence. You fought them with intelligence. Yes, sir. That is very human and very wise. Do you know what they told my security officer? They said you were a predator. They said they could smell it on you. They said you were the kind of predator that does not need teeth or claws because you had something better. You had a mind that was dangerous. Lisa did not move. She did not change her expression. The incident with the was not random, was it? Continued. You knew something was wrong. You moved to stop it. That is not what a normal student does. That is what someone trained to see danger does. I heard them, Lisa said simply. I heard the fear in the Pelian students' voices. I heard the threat in the sounds. Hearing danger and walking away are two different things. And you chose not to walk away. I chose not to let innocent people be hurt if I could stop it. Was very quiet for a long time. Then he made a gesture with one of his upper arms. You will follow certain rules while you are on this station. You will not take private security actions. If you see danger, you will report it to station security. You will not put yourself in situations where you could be hurt. You will act like a student, not like a soldier. Yes, sir, Lisa said. However, continued, I am going to tell the security team that you are someone who should be if there are incidents that affect the academic community. The Pelian students are now under protection, and they will know that if they try anything else on this station, there will be consequences. Lisa understood what was really saying. He was giving her permission to watch. He was giving her permission to care. He was telling her that he understood what she was and that he did not see her as a threat to the station. He saw her as an asset. Thank you, sir, Lisa said. Do not thank me. Instead, be careful. Do not forget people who hurt them. They will remember that you stood against them. They will remember your face, and they will remember that you did not show fear. Lisa stood up when gestured that the meeting was over. She walked to the door. Lisa said, she turned back to look at him. Your grandmother, she must be very proud of you. I hope so, sir, Lisa said. I have not failed yet. No, you have not, and I do not think you plan to. When Lisa left's office, she understood that everything had changed. She was no longer just a quiet girl on campus. She was now someone that the station commander was watching, someone he was thinking about, someone he might trust. Over the next 2 weeks, Lisa paid attention to every detail of Nexus Station. She walked every corridor. She noted every security camera and every blind spot. She learned the schedules of the security guards. She watched how different species moved and talked and thought about problems. She was not trying to cause trouble. She was trying to prepare. Her grandmother had taught her that 3 weeks after her meeting with station commander, Lisa received a message on her personal terminal at 2 in the morning. The message was encrypted, very encrypted, the kind of encrypted that would take normal security systems weeks to break. But Lisa had been given the decryption key by her grandmother before she left Earth. It was a simple key, just a string of numbers that looked random, but they were not random. They were coordinates. They were dates. They were pieces of her family history combined into a code. The message contained 47 words exactly. We know who you are. We know what you are capable of. They are moving. They are preparing for something big, not now, not yet, but soon. You must prepare Earth's defense. Your grandmother sends her regards. Lisa deleted the message. She did this very carefully. She deleted it from her terminal. She deleted it from the backup systems. She deleted it from every place where it could be found. Then she sat in the dark of her room and stared at the metal walls of the station. War was not coming to Nexus Station. War was coming to Earth. They wanted to destroy her home world. They wanted to take it over or kill everyone on it or use it for something. Lisa did not know exactly what their plans were, but she knew they were dangerous. She knew they were organized. She knew they had been planning this for a long time. And she knew that the Galactic Council would not help. The Council would do what the Council always did. They would talk about it. They would have meetings. They would worry about doing it correctly. By the time they made a decision, Earth would be gone. Lisa was not going to let that happen. She started very carefully. She did not do anything obvious. She did not gather weapons or supplies in a way that would be noticed. Instead, she started to talk to people. She started to build connections. She started to become someone that people trusted. She spent more time with the Pelian students, became her friend, real friend. Lisa taught her about Earth. She taught her about human families and human love and human loyalty, told her about Pelian culture. She told her about how the Pelians had been invaded 3 times by and how the Pelian race had barely survived each time. "The council does not care about us," said one day when they were sitting alone in the library. "The council cares about the big species. The council cares about thee and the ones with power. We Pelians are just small to them, just not important enough to save." "I care," Lisa said. "And when the time comes, there will be others who care too. You will not be alone." Lisa met other students. She met students from smaller species. She met students who had family members killed by She met students who understood what war really meant. She began to form a group, not a formal group, just a collection of people who spent time together, people who talked about history and strategy and what it meant to survive. The student from the beginning started to notice what Lisa was doing. They were known for being aggressive but also very intelligent. Had been watching Lisa for weeks. He had seen how she moved through the station, how she positioned herself, how she always seemed to know where danger would come from. "You are building something," said to her one day in the common area. "I have seen many students in my time, many different types, but I have never seen anyone build a network like you do. You do not recruit, you do not order, you just become friends with people. But after they become friends with you, they become different, they become stronger, they become more aware." "I do not know what you mean," Lisa said. "Yes, you do, and I want to help." Lisa looked at very carefully. This was a moment that mattered. This was a moment where she could refuse him or accept him. This was a moment that would change everything. "I cannot tell you why I am doing this," Lisa said. "I can only tell you that something bad is coming, and when it comes, the people around me need to be ready to survive." The said it was not a question. "Yes, I will help you." Over the next 2 months, Lisa formed a team. It was not officially a team. Nobody knew about it but the people in it. It was just a group of students who started studying together. They studied military history. They studied how different species fought. They studied the station's security systems. They studied weapons and tactics and survival. Lisa taught them what her grandmother had taught her. She taught them how to think like predators, how to observe without being seen, how to move with purpose, how to stay calm when things fell apart, how to understand that mercy could be a weapon just as powerful as any gun. The group grew. There were 12 of them, 13 with Lisa. They came from 5 different species. The Pelians, the 2 humans who had arrived at the station after Lisa, a named who was tired of his people hiding from conflict, a named who had been rejected by the council military for being too aggressive. They did not know that they were a weapon, but they were. They were a weapon that was being shaped and prepared and pointed at a target. Then came the day that Lisa received another message. This one came through a more direct route. It came from her contact on Earth. It said, "They are moving now. They have started their final preparations. You have less than 6 weeks. Prepare for the worst." Lisa called a secret meeting. It was in Sroom because Sroom was in a section of the station that did not have very good security cameras. All 13 of them sat together in a circle. "Something is about to happen," Lisa said. Her voice was hard and clear. "Within 6 weeks, there will be an attack on a human world. They are preparing for it right now. I cannot tell you how I know this. I can only tell you that it is true." "What do we do?" asked. Her soft body was shaking slightly. "We prepare," Lisa said. "We learn everything we can about tactics. We learn everything we can about how to survive against a larger and stronger enemy. We learn how to fight without fighting directly. We learn how to be smart when we cannot be strong. And when the time comes, we will help in whatever way we can." "You are asking us to go to war," said, the had honor in his voice. "You are asking us to be soldiers." "No," Lisa said. "I am asking you to be something better. I am asking you to be smart. I am asking." On the 42nd day after Lisa received the warning about the attack, something changed on Nexus Station. The change was small. Most people would not have noticed it, but Lisa noticed everything. The guards at the main security office changed their positions. The surveillance on the lower levels of the station went offline. The communication systems were redirected through new channels. That had been visible around the station for weeks suddenly disappeared. Lisa was in the library when she noticed these things. She was not studying. She was watching. She was always watching. When she saw the changes in the station's security, she knew that the time had come. She sent out a single message through her encrypted channel to all 12 members of her team. They are moving. Within an hour, all of them were in this room again. This time they had tools. They had downloaded copies of the station's security files. They had backup communication systems that they had built themselves. They had a plan. They are not attacking the station, Lisa explained. They have agents here on the station, other aliens who have agreed to work with them. They are going to create a distraction. While the station's security is focused on something that is happening in the lower levels that will move against Earth. Can we stop them? Asked. The Pelian student was shaking, but her voice was strong. We are not here to stop them, Lisa said. We are here to prepare. When they attack Earth, my people need to know what is coming. They need to have time to prepare defenses. They need to understand how to think and fight. You are going to send a message? Asked. That was already standing near the window, watching the station's corridors below. Yes, a detailed message. Everything we have learned about tactics. Everything we have learned about their communication patterns. Everything we have learned about their weaknesses. But first, we need to understand what the distraction is. We need to know what they are trying to hide. Had been typing on a terminal. His 3 eyes were focused on the data that was flowing across the screen. The main laboratory section is being evacuated, he said. All of the researchers are being moved to secure areas, and there are armed forces moving toward the lower storage areas. They have someone down there, Lisa said. Someone who has been helping them, someone important. They are trying to move that person before the council realizes what is happening. What do we do? One of the human students asked. Her name was Amy. She was from a military family like Lisa. She had been trained since childhood to recognize threats. You and the other students need to go to the laboratory section. They will not stop you. You need to photograph everything you can, every file, every research project, everything. If they are trying to hide something there, it is something important. Stood up immediately, his crystal body glowed slightly in the artificial light of the station. I can do this. You need to contact your family in the military. Tell them that there is unusual activity on the station. Tell them that something is not right. Do not tell them what you know. Just alert them to pay attention. Nodded, he pulled out a secure communications device. And the Pelian students need to contact the other species on the station. Tell them that something might be happening. Tell them to gather their people in safe areas. Tell them to watch for anything strange. We can do this, said. The Pelian's many small arms were moving quickly as she made notes. I need your contacts. Can you reach any of them? Can you tell them what is happening? My cousin is with the diplomatic team, said. I can get word to him. He will know what to do. Amy, I need you to come with me. I need to contact Earth directly. It will be dangerous, but I need to make sure that the message gets through. Amy looked scared, but she stood up anyway. I am ready. Lisa moved fast. She had been trained for this moment her whole life. She had been preparing for this since the moment she arrived at Nexus Station. Every observation, every connection, every moment of learning had led to this. She went to the station's main communication hub. It was a secure area, but Lisa had learned how security worked on Nexus Station. She knew the patterns of the guards. She knew the blind spots of the cameras. She knew the codes that would allow her access without setting off alarms. She and Amy made it to the communications hub without being stopped. Inside, Lisa found what she was looking for, a direct line to Earth, a line that was supposed to be used only for official council business, a line that was encrypted and secure. She began typing her message. It was long. It contained everything her team had learned. It contained information about movement patterns. It contained details about their ships and weapons. It contained information about their communication methods. It contained weaknesses that could be exploited. It contained tactics that they used to frighten other species. But most importantly, it contained hope. It contained the message that humans could survive against the. It contained proof that humans could think and plan and fight with intelligence instead of just strength. The message took 2 minutes to transmit. It was the longest 2 minutes of Lisa's life. She could hear the sounds of the station around her. She could hear sirens starting to sound in the distance. She could hear the sounds of chaos beginning to happen. Then the transmission was complete. Let us go, Amy said. Now. They ran through the corridors of Nexus Station. They ran back toward the safe areas. Behind them, they could hear sounds of conflict starting. They could hear weapons being fired. They could hear the sounds of violence. But by the time they made it back to room, the situation was already being controlled. His message to the military had worked. Military forces were arriving at the station to restore order. This distraction had failed because Lisa's team had warned everyone what was happening. The armed confrontation on the lower levels ended in less than an hour. The security forces found the agent who had been hiding in the laboratory. They found weapons and plans and communications logs. By the time station commander arrived at the scene, everything was under control. But he knew that this had not been a random discovery. He knew that someone had known this was coming. He called Lisa to his office the next morning. "The message you sent to Earth," said. "It came through all of our systems. It created alarms. Every council member is now asking about it." Lisa said nothing. Sometimes silence was the best answer. "Your people," continued, "they will be ready for what is coming. When they attack, your world will not be caught by surprise." "No, sir," Lisa said. "We will not be surprised." "And these other students, the ones who helped you, they knew about this. They helped you gather information and warn their families." "Yes, sir." Made a sound. It was like a laugh, but also like respect. "You came to this station as a quiet girl who nobody noticed. You left it as something else. You left it as a leader. The council is going to have questions about what you have done." "I have done nothing wrong, sir," Lisa said. "I have sent information to my home world. I have formed friendships with other students. I have helped prevent a conflict that would have hurt many people. These are not crimes." "No," agreed. "They are not crimes. They are the actions of someone who understands what it means to be human. You are a predator from Lisa, and you have proven that humans belong among the stars, not as victims, not as the weak ones, but as something that is dangerous and smart and honorable." Lisa left the station 6 weeks later. She did not stay to see the beginning of the war with the... But she did not need to. She had prepared her people. She had shown them what was coming. She had given them the knowledge they needed to survive. On the transport back to Earth, Lisa sat alone like she always did. She was quiet like she always was. Nobody noticed her. Nobody remembered her face. But when she arrived on Earth, her grandmother was waiting for her at the landing platform. "Welcome home, Predator," her grandmother said, and they embraced. The war with the had not ended, but Earth was ready, and Lisa, the quiet girl from Nexus Station, would make sure that humanity survived. She was a human. She was a predator she was the deadliest thing that the galaxy would ever meet. And nobody had seen her coming. "You to be careful. I am asking you to be the people who survive when others do not. That is all." They agreed, every single one of them. They did not know exactly what was coming, but they understood that Lisa was someone worth following. They understood that she was someone who saw things that others did not see. And they understood that sometimes being a predator meant doing hard things for people you cared about. The best warriors were the ones who studied the battlefield before they had to fight on it. And something was coming. Lisa could feel it in the way the station was getting tense. There were more showing up. There were more security protocols. There were more meetings happening late at night in secure rooms. War was coming to Nexus Station, and Lisa was going to be ready for it. Lisa deleted the message. She made sure it was gone from every backup on the station. Then she sat in the dark of her room and looked out at the metal walls of Nexus Station. Something was coming, something big, something dangerous. There were just the beginning. There were other threats. There were other reasons that the Galactic Council was watching humans so carefully. Lisa had been sent here to watch too. She had been sent here to protect. She had been sent here to be a predator when predators were needed. And now everyone on the station knew that she could bite. Her grandmother had always said one thing about hunting. The best hunters are the ones that nobody sees. They are not the ones with the biggest teeth or the sharpest claws. They are the ones that everybody forgets about. Lisa was going to be forgotten about. And when the darkness came, when the war started, when the threats arrived at Nexus Station, nobody would see her coming either.